Ho ho!
Tomorrow is a key moment in the season, the first Champions League knockout round. What would you say are the main keys ahead of such a big match against Mourinho's Benfica?
Well, we know it. We are fully aware of how difficult tomorrow's match will be. The opponent, the atmosphere that is always present here, and the level of demand it represents for us. As I always say, we know the level we must reach if we want to get a good result here tomorrow, if we want to win the match, which is our objective. So we are very mentally prepared and fully focused on bringing out the best version of ourselves.
We heard Mourinho this morning praising you once again. I wanted to ask if you're planning to invite him to the gray sofa.
No, well, if I invite him, it'll be someday for lunch. I don't think he needs to sit on the gray sofa. As you know, we are good friends. We always wish each other the best, and we have a great relationship.
Mourinho said today that he would like Benfica to win the Champions League and Madrid to win La Liga, and for both to continue for many years. You've previously described that period as tough, intense, and almost violent. Do you think it would be a good idea for Mourinho to return as Real Madrid's coach one day?
Look, as I just said, the only thing I can tell you is that I always wish Jose the best. My objective is to eliminate Benfica, obviously. And after that, I hope he can win everything. From there on, I wish him and his family all the best.
What percentage of this good run belongs to you, Arbeloa, and how much to the players?
I'm not here thinking about percentages. Since I arrived, as I've said, I've seen a great attitude from all the players. I always emphasize to them that they are the ones who have to do the difficult part. In football, being a coach is much easier than being a player because it's always easier to say what needs to be done and how to do it than to go out on the pitch and actually do it. For me, they are the true protagonists. They deserve most of the credit. Everything good the team is doing comes from their effort and the work they put in every training session. Good results don't only come from the 11 players who start, but from the work of the 20 or 25 players in the squad who prepare every match as if it were the last one, as if it were a final. With that mentality, that work ethic, and that level of demand they are showing, good results and strong performances are coming, but we are confident that we can still improve.
After listening to Mourinho this morning and hearing from people around Benfica, they're convinced they will face a very different Real Madrid from the one they faced here 3 weeks ago. As a coach and someone who has been part of the squad and knows what the Champions League means to Real Madrid, where will you focus your message to the players ahead of a match like tomorrow's?
Our message is always football related. It's about how we believe we need to do things. To win the match, we have to play very good football. And to play very good football, you have to do many things well. In every phase of the game, we need to deliver 90 minutes of maximum concentration. And in every moment, understand what the match requires. We'll need to defend well, attack well, stay focused on set pieces. It's not just one key to winning tomorrow. It's about being able to deliver a complete performance for the full 90 minutes.
What kind of Benfica do you expect to see tomorrow, especially considering they've announced they'll have more players available?
Well, obviously a Benfica with more individual options, with the possibility of using different players. But I think the soul of Benfica will be very similar to what we saw 3 weeks ago, because they have a leader who sets the path for them, the way they play and compete. Within that structure, there may be small differences depending on which players are on the pitch. But we expect a very competitive, very intense Benfica that will make things very difficult for us. We have to prepare ourselves for the high level we're going to face.
Mourinho just said that Real Madrid is a wounded team after the last match between you. So let me ask you, does your team feel a desire for revenge against Benfica?
No, we always think about winning. Our objective is not simply to eliminate Benfica. Our objective is to win the Champions League, because that's what this badge demands. For us, it's not about revenge. It's about achieving our goal, advancing to the next round, and that's why we've come here.
About a month and a week ago, when you took charge, one of the most repeated questions was about your relationship with the players and how long it would take to reach a point of mutual trust and comfort. Where do you feel you are in that sense now? And has it been more difficult or easier than you expected?
They welcome me very well from day one. I think we've tried to connect, and in the end, both their objective and mine are exactly the same, which is simply to win. That's what we work for every day. As I've said since I arrived, the players' willingness to receive me, to embrace our ideas about the game, to work on them and put them into practice has been outstanding. Obviously, we haven't been together for a very long time, but I can't ask for more than for them to continue with the same attitude, the same energy, the same desire, and the same unity they've been showing.
3 weeks ago when Benfica played here, were you surprised at all by Mourinho's approach to the match? And during this time, have you been thinking about how you might surprise him?
No. I don't think Jose can surprise me because I know perfectly well what he's capable of. And I believe I said that in that press conference. Even if Benfica had shown up with their youth league team, I knew the intensity they were going to bring onto the pitch. Tomorrow will be more of the same. I even know they're capable of playing at an even higher level, and we have to be prepared for that. And no, my idea is not to surprise Jose or anyone. When Real Madrid steps onto the pitch, I believe everyone should know exactly what they're facing. And the clearer that is, the better I've done my job.
20 days ago, when Real Madrid faced Benfica here, the team was coming off a very solid performance against Villarreal. Now you're coming off another strong and convincing win against Real Sociedad. What lessons have you and your players learned to make sure the same thing that happened 20 days ago doesn't happen again in the same stadium?
For us, this is a completely new match. We're not thinking about anything else. Of course, the previous game has been analyzed, but tomorrow is entirely different. We want to deliver a great performance, play a great match, and we go onto every pitch with only one objective in mind: to win.
Following that reflection, Mourinho said this morning that he analyzed the match from 3 weeks ago in depth, but that he has now thrown it away because of a tactical adjustment that began in Valencia, when you used 3 pure midfielders, Tchouaméni, Camavinga, and Valverde, plus Arda or Bellingham. Do you believe your team is more defensively solid when those 3 midfielders play together?
Well, just recently, coming off the Villarreal match, we played without those 3 midfielders together. The objective is always to be solid. I think not just for me as a coach, but for anyone. Nowadays, it's very difficult to play good football if you're not solid, if you're not compact, if you don't know how to defend properly, and of course, if you don't know how to press high effectively. We have to be capable of doing everything, and to do everything well requires a lot of concentration, a lot of training, and a lot of work. Right now, the 3 players you mentioned, Fede, Tchouaméni, and Camavinga, are doing a fantastic job. I don't need to introduce their qualities. They're world-class players, and they're performing really well. But not only them, everyone. Because in the end, defensive solidity is the work of 10 outfield players.
How is Kylian Mbappe? Is he ready to play?
He's here with us. He'll train, and tomorrow you'll see whether he plays or not.
In 7 or 8 days, Mourinho will return to the Bernabéu. 20 days ago, he said he had never done it in these 12 and a half years. He was close, but ended up signing for Benfica instead. How would you like the Bernabéu crowd to welcome him, and how do you think they will receive him after so long?
How do I think they'll receive him? I believe with a great ovation. Madridismo is aware of everything Jose did for Real Madrid. He gave everything and a little bit more. So I'm sure he'll be welcomed with a huge ovation.
Thanks.